Hello everyone, my name is Ryusei and welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell from the title or thumbnail of today's video, today we're going to be starting a new series, Honkai Star Rail Males Only. I'd been wanting to get back into Star Rail after seeing clips from Planar Arcadia, and it seemed like a really good time, so I thought I'd start a new account, but with a twist. For this account, I'll only be using and pulling for male characters. I feel like Star Rail has like the best Toyoverse boy designs, so I'm really excited to get started. But without further ado, let's go to the beginning of this journey. After getting a Stellaron placed in us by Kafka, we are greeted with Donghung in March 7th and are thrusted into the tutorial. Technically, the MC is our only usable character at the moment, but since we can't take March out of the party just yet, we'll have to keep her around. To not violate the male-only rules though, I'll just stick to using her basic attack, and it's going to be the same for any non-male characters that are forced into our party for story reasons. After fighting some enemies in the corridors, MC and March meet back up with Donghung, which unlocks the team lineup feature, which we can use to switch out March with our new teammate, Donghung. Of course, I immediately added him to the team. With March leaving, we don't have a sustain anymore, but that issue gets fixed later on. We also unlocked the ability to start leveling up our characters, so I took the time to level up Donghung and MC to level 4 each. Up here, we can have our first fight with just our 2 male units. These guys aren't too hard, so we should make quick work of them, especially with their wind weakness. I've always loved 4-star Donghung's design, so I'm really happy I get to use him for now, before we get some really cool 5-star characters. Taking a little bit of damage here, but it should be okay. Donghung should get the final kill. And I'd say I'm feeling pretty good about this team so far. While exploring, we entered this room, which gave us the ability to equip light cones. We were given a destruction light cone for free, which I equipped onto the Trailblazer. Unfortunately, we don't have one for Donghung just yet, so he'll have to be light coneless for the time being. Once making it to the center elevator, we were greeted with our first mini-boss battle. This might be a little hard since it's 3 enemies and we only have 2 teammates so far, but I'm hoping with Trailblazer's AoE attacks, it'll make it easier. I'm also gonna go straight in with Donghung and Trailblazer's ults just to use them since they're there. I'm hoping with Trailblazer's AoE ult we'll be able to break the side enemies, which it looks like we can. Alright, he's targeting Trailblazer, so that means we need to try to break him as fast as possible, which Donghung should be able to do with a basic, but I'm just going to use a skill for extra damage. We're not going to be able to break him before he gets this attack off, so we're just going to have to cross our fingers. Okay. Oh, wow, we almost lost Trailblazer there. We're gonna hit him with a single target ult. We can basic here, and then hopefully Donghung can kill with a skill. Alright, that's our first mini-boss battle down. After the battle, we're saved by Himiko's drones and meet up with her in the main area of the space station. Once we finish catching up with Himiko, she fills us in on the situation and decides to join our party. Afterwards, we get access to Donghung PT, which is a huge boost to our account. Of course, after getting access to the cooler Donghung, I immediately added him to the party. Unfortunately for now, we have to keep Himiko in the party, so we'll just have to work around her. After getting my team settled, we go over to talk to Asta, who thanks us for our help in saving the space station. We agree to lend Asta a hand with dealing with the Antimatter Legion and simultaneously unlock the warp function. The game forces us to do a single pull here, which always results in an Asta, who will unfortunately just be collecting dust in our account. Currently in this version, there's no one for us to pull just yet, but next version we'll be able to get lucky with Ashvale coming. There is Blade, but I think he's so dependent on Sparkle being his best in slot teammate that there's no real point in us having him on our account. We also now had access to the mail feature in our phone, which had some rewards waiting for us, one which included a Serval we can't use. But we did get 20 standard pulls out of it, which we can use on the beginner warp. I also went through and used every redemption code I could find just to get some extra rewards as well. We were able to get a lot of goodies from the redemption codes, which will hopefully set our account up for success. With our 20 gifted standard pulls, I decided to pull on the departure warp. I'm hoping for a welt for our account since he's supposed to get a Nova Flare soon. We were able to get Sample and his light cone from the 20 pulls. I was able to scrounge up some more Stellar Jades for another 10 pull, which gave us a Natasha who will just be collecting dust alongside Asta. From all the warps we did, we were able to get some 3-star light cones onto Dongheng and Dongheng PT. I was also able to get everyone to level 20 thanks to the materials from the redemption codes we used earlier. I went around the space station talking to NPCs and completing side quests, which let us unlock the travel log. From here, we were able to claim the new Veronmei skin, get 10 free special passes, and flip our fortunes. We unfortunately did not get lucky on the last flip though. We were also able to grab a golden companion spirit and trade it in for Locha. I also used the 5-star selector event to grab ourselves an adventurine. This gives us 2 more usable units for this account. It feels like our roster is getting bigger by the second. Now that our team building is done, let's go ahead and explore the rest of the space station. I gotta say, I love using Dongheng PT. His skills are just so elegant and regal looking. Like I said before, we still have Himiko forced to be with us, so she's just gonna be on basic attack duty. But we should be strong enough to where all these battles shouldn't be a problem. We have an elite enemy over here guarding this chest, and I want to try fighting it with a full team. It's kind of like a rematch. Because I used Dongheng PT's technique before the battle started, we actually get a shield the minute we come into battle. Dongheng should be able to take out this little orb guy. Then we can use Trailblazer's ult to get rid of the 2 guys on the side of the centaur. Oh, we get to use Dongheng PT's ult! I'm so excited. Ah, the animation is so cool. We'll have Dongheng finish this guy off and we are done. Alright, it is boss time. It's been so long since I fought this guy, but I feel like we should be okay since we're all level 20 and we are pretty powerful. The mechanics of this fight aren't too hard. We just need to take down its little pieces, and then once it's knocked down, it takes extra damage. Dongheng broke the middle piece, which means it should be down now, and maybe his ult can finish it in 1 hit. Hey, let's go Dongheng! It's gonna do its big attack here, but our shield from DHBT should be able to handle it. The Doomsday beast is down again. We don't have an ult this time, but some basics should be able to do it. Of course, it stays on 1% health, so I guess Himiko gets the kill here. After the battle, we protect March 7th from being lasered, get gazed at by the Aeon of Destruction Nanook, and then get knocked out by Welt. Once we're awake again, we're greeted by March, who tells us Himiko would like to speak with us. We're also given an Eidolon for the Trailblazer. After speaking with her, Himiko officially leaves our party, which means we can actually have a full male team. I ended up putting Sampo on the team since he's a DPS, and our other 2 options are a healer and a shielder, and we already have DHBT. It looks like our next quest is to do a trial run of the simulated universe for Herda. Since we can't use our team setups that we have right now, I'm just gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. That was pretty easy, and it looks like our reward is a little Herda that hurts me so bad to not be able to use because I actually really like her design. We'll just have to put her on the shelf with the other characters I can't use. Our last stop now is to talk to Himiko and officially join the Express crew. I've always liked this leaving cutscene from the Herda space station. It just feels really grand. After getting on the Express, we're greeted by Pom Pom, who gives us the rundown of the hierarchy here. We also get access to the Inter-Astral Guide, which is going to be a nice source of rewards for us as we progress through the story. We also get 10 free standard pulls from the Trailblazing Will event, which I immediately used on the Departure Warp, which I hoped would give me a Welt, but alas, no 5-star. It seems like Sempo really likes this account though, since he's back again. We actually got a pretty decent 4-star light cone for Dongheng from that pull though, so we're going to equip that on him. We can also go ahead and activate Sampo's new Eidolon. And that is going to be the end of episode 1 of Males Only. I'm really happy with the progress we've made so far. We have a lot of characters so far to choose from. From the time of recording, the next banner is Ashvale, so I'm really excited to pull for him because he looks really cool. Since we're so early in the game, we have lots of ways to still make Jades, so I'm not too worried about not being able to pull him, so let's hope for the best. I'm really hoping Sunday gets a rerun soon, or we have a new male support since there aren't that many in the game so far, But that's gonna be all for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.